The next topic is finding is basically is about finding the maximum and minimum values from the list. So this is one of the common list algorithm, maximum and minimum. And so this is a code snippet for finding the maximum value, and this is another one that another one for finding the minimum value from the list. So the idea is you first set the so let's just read this the first code sample. So if you first set the first elements, so let's say values is a list of integer, and you first set the first value of the list as the largest, right? Then you compare the largest with the second element. Okay, so this is, by the way, this index is 1, that means second element. So the idea is this. The basic idea is for example, let's say you have values, right? You have values, and then the values is a list of, let's say, integer. Let's say 5, 10, 20, and 1. And index is 0, 1, 2, and 3, right? So idea is you first set the first element to be the largest, right? So this is right now is the largest, right? So this is index is 0, and then you go to the next element, which is 10, and you compare 5, the largest, and the next element. And if the next element is greater than the largest, then this becomes a new largest, right? So in this case, otherwise the largest is going to be remain same. But let's say 5 largest, you compare largest with the 10, and 10 is greater than the largest, so this, now the 10 becomes the largest, right? And then you move to the next element and compare the largest with the next element. Since this 20 is greater than the largest, this 20 is going to be your new largest value, right? And then you move to the next one, right? You move to the next one, and then 1 is less than largest. So in this case, the largest is going to be remain same, which is 20. So as a result, the largest is 20, right? So that's the basic algorithm. Having said that, let's just follow this code for finding the maximum value. Let's say I'm going to use the same example. Let's say values is let's say what, 5, 10, 20, and 1, right? And index is 0, 1, 2, and 3. So this is index. And then your largest is value 0, which is the 5. So at this point, your largest is equal to 5, because this is your first element and index is 0, right? So index is 0. And for I in range 1 through length values, so the length value, right? The length of this index is what? 1, 2, 3, 4, so it's a 4. So that's the 4, right? So from 1 to what? From 1 to, this is 4. So 1 through 4, right? So this range is a function that returns a list from the first number to what? The last number minus 1. So basically range 1 through 4, right? It's a list starting from the 1 and then all the way to all the way to 1 less than the last value, which is a 3. So if I is 1, so this is I is 1, right? And if values I 1 is then greater than largest. So largest is at this point is 5, right? So value 1. So values 1, which is 10, right? This is 10, right? The 10 is greater than, largest at this point is 5, right? 5, is it true? Yes, it's true. So the largest is now is what? Values I, which is 10. So your largest now is 10. Used to be 5, now it's a 10, right? So I'm done. So the next while loop, right? This time when I is 2, and I is 2, and then if the value 2 is greater than the largest, so values 2, largest is 10, right? Is that 10? Is it true? Is it true? Yes, it's true, because value 2 is 20. So 20 is greater than 10. Yes, it's true. So your new largest now is what? It's 20. Right? And then I'm done, so I'm going to another while loop. When I becomes now 3, the last one, when I is 3, the value 3, is greater than largest. The largest is right now is 20, right? So it's greater than 20. The value 3 is what? It's 1, right? The value 3 is 1. So is that 1 is greater than 20? No, this is a false. So it's not going to execute this code, right? It's not going to execute this line since it's a false. And so the largest is going to be remain same. So largest at this point is remain same, which is 20. So that's the end of for loop. Let's just execute this code. Here's the example. So let's just open new file. Let's say values is equal to what? 5, 10, 21, and then for I in range 1 through length values, and then if the current value I index, right, this I is an index, is greater than, it's starting from the 1, right, so say it's 10, this is 1, it's greater than the largest. Oh, by the way, I have to have largest is the first element, which is 5. So largest at the before the for loop begins, the largest is the first element of the list of values, 5. If this is the case, then you can have a new largest, which is values. Otherwise, it's going to remain same. I, right? And so this is like after the while loop is done. Let's print the result. Print what? The largest is what? Largest. So this is after the while loop. After the for loop. Okay, so let's just run this. maximum list, right? Okay, so the maximum value is 20. Okay, so this is the code snippet which can find the largest value, the maximum value in the list. So you can actually have your task is just like I did. The task is given these values, I want to your homework assignment is to trace down this for loop, right? Just like I did for the maximum. I want you to do the same thing when the values is given like this, 5, 10, 21, right? Exactly. Okay, so please follow this code, trace down this for loop. Okay, that's your homework assignment. Okay, so so if you look at this first, the idea is pretty much the same. Your first value is now is going to be smallest, and then 1 through the length is the same, and then this sign is exactly the opposite, and then smallest is equal to value I. So yes, please, you must trace down this code, right? Given the values is 5, 10, 21. Okay, so that's your task, it's your homework assignment. So I'm going to end my lecture here.